It looked like the push that was heard around the world has cost WNBA player Chennedy Carter her career.
Chennedy Carter, the fall of a star. Chennedy Carter's career in the WNBA has hit a major crossroads, and it all started with one disastrous moment: the push against Caitlin Clark. That push was more than just a physical altercation. It was the moment that altered her career forever. It's the reason why she's currently without a team.
I don't know why people be so surprised. Oh my God, Chennedy Carter deserved a play. Why? Like, did y'all forget all of the events that transpired last year with her and Caitlin Clark? And then she refused to own up to what she did. What organization want to deal with that?
Not looking good for her moving forward. The aftermath: no apology, no accountability. What makes this situation even worse is how Carter handled the aftermath. No apology, no explanation, no reflection. When reporters asked her about the incident, Carter completely shrugged it off, refusing to answer any questions about Caitlin.
Now, we all remember what happened on that fateful day last year, bro, when she took it upon herself to put her filthy thug hands on WNBA player Caitlin Clark. I knew then her future was not going to be very bright, bro.
I'm not answering any Clark questions. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. After the push, Carter was asked about the exchange with Clark. Her response? I didn't say anything. I don't know what she said. Just like that. No accountability. Nothing. The WNBA's response. And the WNBA wasn't having it. Officials reviewed the incident and quickly slapped Carter with a flagrant foul, calling it unnecessary and reckless.
Look at what just transpired between Carter and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul.
It wasn't some brutal football hit. It was a push in a professional basketball game, but it was enough to get her into serious trouble. One executive even said that after seeing what Carter did, no one in the WNBA is touching her with a 10-foot pole. And she's paying the price for that decision today. Career suicide. One moment, one bad decision. This wasn't just about one push, though. It's about everything Carter has done in her career that led up to this moment. Her bad attitude,
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check. This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue. And it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's
and the long-running drama that followed her from team to team. Let's rewind a bit. Carter, a number 1 overall pick from Texas A&M, was supposed to be the future of the league. But instead of capitalizing on her potential, she threw it all away. A pattern of disruptive behavior.
That right there, I believe, was the push that altered her career. And I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Chennedy Carter.
Started back with the Atlanta Dream, where her altercation with teammate Courtney Williams sent shockwaves through the team. The incident was so serious that Carter was sent to the locker room mid-game, and reports suggest that Carter was ready to throw hands with Williams, someone who is known as one of the nicest.
Chennedy Carter, and then what's crazy about all of this, immediately after that push, this is what she said to the media.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the fever
I
score.
didn't answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's a bad look. The Dream suspended Carter and traded her away to the Los Angeles Sparks, where things didn't improve. In fact, they got worse. Carter was riding the bench, and the reason? Poor conduct. The Sparks finally decided to release her after the
a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying? What she did to Caitlin Clark was completely unnecessary. And I'm here to tell you guys, she's living with that decision today because she is without a job.
So what happens when a player with so much talent finds herself out of 2 teams in 2 years? It's simple. She becomes radioactive. The last chance, Chicago Sky. Eventually, Carter was picked up by the Chicago Sky.
When Tyler Marsh did the press conference He talked about Angel Reese. He talked about Cardoso, who I think is going to be a star in the WNBA. But he did not really mention Chennedy Carter at all, and that raised a lot of eyebrows.
Many hoped she'd turn things around. She was placed in a talented environment, surrounded by players like Teresa Weatherspoon and Angel Reese. But instead of fixing her reputation, Carter continued to struggle with her behavior, and it was clear she wasn't fitting in with the locker room culture. And now, with no long-term deal and no qualifying offer, the Sky has
said we still can't be doing this every year. Chennedy Carter is the reason WNBA won't take a risk on.
Unheard of in the WNBA, teams don't just release top scorers without a trade, especially when there's a chance to get something in return. But Chicago made it clear they'd rather cut ties and move on than deal with the drama. No team will touch her. Carter's fall from grace is one of the quickest in recent memory. From being a top draft pick to becoming the player no team wants, it's a shocking decline. And now, even her agent is...
She gets no offer to return from the Chicago Sky, which a lot of people have been feeling by her social media posts that she got quite offended by.
Pick up the phone when they call. Carter is radioactive, and it's because of her actions both on and off the court. A history of drama. It's not just the...
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
Carter's history is full of similar incidents. Back in her early days with the Atlanta Dream, her clash with Williams was so bad that the team had no choice but to suspend her and then ship her off. But it didn't stop there. After the Sparks released her, she went overseas to Turkey.
Come on, cheer for your teammates, be a part of this team, and then ensues an altercation between the two where Chennedy Carter was sent to the locker room mid-game, of which afterwards, after the game, this is what has been reported. I guess Chennedy Carter wanted to fight Courtney Williams, like physically fight Courtney Williams, who backed away from this and was like, no way. So there was no actual physical altercation that happened.
Played well and caught the attention of teams again. That's when the Chicago Sky gave her another shot, but it wasn't long before they decided to cut her loose. The locker room mutiny. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Despite her talent, Carter's reputation has gone beyond one bad decision. Teammates are now speaking out, and it's not pretty. One unnamed player who shared...
The Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Called Carter a locker room cancer, saying that the team was better off without her. Imagine that, a star player in a professional league having their own teammates turning on them. And here's the kicker. Angel Reese, one of Carter's supposed partners in crime, unfollowed.
She ended up playing a lot less minutes there, and the reasoning that these Sparks were saying that she was playing less minutes was because of poor conduct, and that was the 2022 season. Then in the 2023 season, the Sparks just decided to release her in the offseason.